EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, we start Week 9 with a prime-time matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Houston Texans. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? This one taken just inside the 10. But a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Mills looking to the air right away. That's out to the flat for Ingram. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And this one grabbed by Darren Fells. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
First down, Mills. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
A gain of 3, second down. The Texans at 3 and 4 on the year coming into play. But Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Mills. Over the middle, it's Fells. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. Well, safe to say the passing game has found a rhythm. He's now 4 of 4, but might need to be 5 of 5 to keep this drive going here as they face a 3rd down.
And maybe perhaps you show a running play, right? Maybe a little play action here to go ahead and let him throw the ball downfield. I wouldn't get away from him flinging it because 4 for 4 already. I think he's got a good chance of picking this one up here on 3rd down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd and short, this is Janovich. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. They run it again with Janovich. In lieu of the sneak on 4th and inches, they just say, give it to the big man in the backfield.
Yeah, fullback no less. Not many of those left in the NFL, but for those that have one, perfect time to use them, perfect time to get it done.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. Now a handoff to the fullback Janovich. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd and 1, here's Mills. On the check down, it's Ingram. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time, they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover it before he gets going?
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. They give to Ingram up the middle. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The ball on the 8. Still could get a first down technically. 2nd and 7. Throwing, Mills. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line.
The tackle made back at the 13-yard line.
We're scoreless after 1. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick. And the Eagles force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. Well, turnovers, obviously, Charles, always costly. But, man, when you throw those interceptions in the end zone like that, it really stings.
He tried to fit that one into his tight end, and I often use the expression NFL open, which means a tighter window. Down near the goal line, you really want him to be open. In this case, it cost him.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Throw of his NFL career. We've seen a couple of Super Bowls start 2-0. The first score of this game could have very easily been a safety. That was close there.
It was close, and while it didn't happen in this game, it's funny you bring up the Super Bowls, because that would have been, what, Super Bowl 46, Giants-Patriots.
You're testing my memory.
And also Super Bowl 48, which was Broncos-Seattle when the snap went over the head of the QB. And guess what? It was 2-zip Seattle right out of the gate.
So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long. He'll decide to keep this once more. And he is out of bounds, up past the 10. Give him an even gain of 10, but now it's 4th down.
Yeah, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend, but you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we could walk away with a win.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
A 1st down throw for Mills. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And the Eagles will take over here just shy of the 30. The CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game like this?
It certainly is, because you don't get time to work on the issues that you've had throughout the season that caused you to have the record that you're having. You can't really get those set. So now you're trying to minimize those and maximize what you've been doing well. And I remember a game recently where one of the assistant coaches said to the head coach, forget our running back rotation. This guy has a hot hand, and they rode him to a victory. Those are things you have to look out for in games like this.
Hurts. He's got his target. That's Zach Pascal. He's got this almost to the 40 before... was up there ready at the line of scrimmage, CD, but no snap, and the delay of game ensued.
Yeah, and I'm sure their head coach is asking the exact same thing. What's going on out there? Almost like they thought they had more time than actually was on the clock.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Hurts to throw. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Here we go now on 1st and goal. They'll run with Sanders. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On 2nd and goal, Hurts. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Off the edge, Jerry Hughes gets the sack.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Interested to see what they dial up here. 3rd and goal with a lot of green between them and the end zone. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And that will be incomplete.
He's 2nd in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays the game with great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. The kick by Elliott is good. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. Well, they got the turnover and were able to drive it down, Charles, but ultimately in the end, the defense holds up, and they only come away with the 3 points.
Yeah, they gave up a lot of ground, but when they had to, they settled in and prevented the interception from leading to 6 points. Because you never want to see turnovers turn into any type of points against you, but better to give up 3 than 6.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. Throw left side complete. That's Ingram. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. This guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
Stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. On 1st and 10, Mills. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Here's Mills. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Looking to throw is Mills. And Mills is intercepted for the third time. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And the Eagles are going to take possession here at their own 33. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And you wonder if they'll just take this 3-0 lead to the locker room.
19 tight, 19 tight. 70 Rangers, 70 Rangers.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. Hurts sets up to throw it. Over the middle, complete. It's Watkins. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Quez Watkins in the final seconds of the first half. And the Eagles would extend their lead here just before halftime. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0.
The score, Eagles 10, Texans nothing. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. From the 10. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. Finding room at midfield. Loose inside the 30. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Had the option to hand that one off or run it himself, but instead, a really easy, quick pass.
I like the way they made a decisive decision and got it right to the receiver. One move later, he's in the end zone.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes our score 17-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Mills now looks to throw on first down. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by James Bradbury. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders down to about the 22 here. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll go again with Sanders. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Check smash! Check smash!
Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
On the jump.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here. 3rd and long. He's going to keep this again. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Good gain of 14 yards, but not enough. It's 4th down. So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. From the left hash, this from 34. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions. But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Mills on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Ingram.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
From the 36, Mills. It's caught by Jackson. First target, first catch, and a first down. Mills to throw it. And my goodness, another interception. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
19, Tiger, 19.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Check the Eagles. Streak. Panther 11. Panther streak.
They'll look to throw, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Trap 60. Ready.
He'll look to throw. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Goddard. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A first down and then some. Give him 29 yards.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll run the option left. And he is going to lose yardage here. That 2nd down play nets a -4. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Eagles on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
Rig! 18 Rattler! 7 Pirates!
From the gun, it's Hurts. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. From the right hash, this from 33. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Mills. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Okay, ready? Warriors 17.
Mills, 4th down, gotta have it. Open man is Mechie, and he's got him. And he is going to have a Texans 1st down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. But no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. First down, Mills. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Ingram. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
He's got room at the 30. Again, it's Mills. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think the part of their plan was to hit them over the top of the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing, Mills. That's out to the flat for Ingram. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. From the shotgun, it's Mills. And now here is another interception. And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get them next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You got to go compete for the ball so you don't get another one picked off.
And he'll be taken down at the 18. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Good gain there on first down and keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking. Nice hole for him. Ends up picking up nice yardage. Stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay there.
And not in any rush offensively. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Come on, come on.
They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks.
And sometimes things come together exactly like you want. It's not just been the volume of carries he's had in this contest. It's been the production as well.
60 Bobcats!
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win.
Warriors 17.
On first down, Hurts. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he powers his way up past the 30. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. With it is Jackson. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Texans will take over.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the fourth quarter and a big deficit, Charles, but they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, and I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board? So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. From the gun, here's Mills. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
On 3rd down, here's Mills. And incomplete on the deep ball. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Mills to throw for it on 4th. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game.
Well, that's something you haven't had to talk about much this game. A nice big play right there. But this team, overall, they haven't done a whole lot offensively.
Well, they're still sitting on the goose egg. We talk about... And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And the Eagles force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Here we go, here we go. Go.
And they take a knee. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
So they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the Eagles, they snap out of their doldrums and improve to 2-6 on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week where they take on Washington. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants.